Hi guys, my name is Peter Kostov and I'm a professional environment artist in the games industry. And we're back on the Castle series. Yay! It's been a while, certainly, but I told you we'll finish this, no matter how long it takes, 2 years, 3 years, a decade. No, it won't take a decade, I promise. So yeah, a lot of things have changed since the last video, but I'll get to that later. For now, I will show you what we're gonna do today to progress our castle. And yeah, let's get into it. So today we're gonna look at our battlements. Yay! What would a castle be without battlements? Very important. Yeah, we're gonna first add them to our walls. Change a little bit the way our wall thickness works. First we'll add a little bit of thickness to our walls. So we have a little walkway up here where soldiers can, do their patrols and things like this. That leaves a space for our battlements, and then we'll add those by booleaning them, and then also exposing some parameters, of course, so we can say how many we want, how few we want, how big they should be, and so on. Also, we'll have them adjust automatically to our wall length. So if the wall gets longer, the battlements will keep the spacing they have. So yeah, as I said, a lot has happened, and I just want to give you guys a little update on what you can expect for the channel for the future. On a personal note, I recently quit my job at Ubisoft to move back to Austria and pursue my own projects. So one of those projects is this YouTube channel, which means I will have more time to focus on finishing the castle series, for example, right? So yeah, you can definitely expect more uploads, and hopefully we can wrap this series up in, I don't know, let's say a few months or so. That would be great. And yeah, that's that. Also, I thought I'll give you a little update on things I have planned for the castles. So certain features I wanna implement, which I think would be cool to try out and make it usable. And of course, if you have any suggestions or any features you think would be cool for it, let me know in the comments, and if it fits, I might implement them. So first, of course, textures, right? No question about that. But I want to add a functionality where we can toggle on and off texture displacement. So use a height map to actually get high detail if we want to. Also optimize it for game related things. Yeah, and a quite exciting thing I've been playing around with is using actually trim sheets. A follower or a subscriber recommended it in one of my videos to add the possibility to use trim sheets on the castle. And this will be, so the trim sheets kind of work already, but it's still work in progress. But so yeah, we'll have trim sheets and height displacement, meaning you can add some really cool Dark Soulsy window like reliefs and have that in your trim sheet height map, and then you can also displace it. You can go quite high detail with it, but I will also try to have it have a mode where you can go a bit more stylized with it, right? That would be the goal for the look, so it's not set in, it will be only realistic or only stylized. That would be great. And then the last big feature I have planned for this is how we actually build our castle, right? Right now it is spline based. So, we have our spline and our castle And we can draw our spline and our castle will generate along that spline, which is great, but splines suck. And but yeah, I thought it would be cool to try out something different. Maybe we can keep the spline mode, you know, but have a alternative one, which would be based on blockouts, basically. So basically you would have color-coded cubes, or really like prefab shapes, like cube cylinders. And you can build your castle, your overall shape for the castle with those cubes, you know, just shove them into each other. You have maybe walls will be blue, maybe towers will be pink or something, you know, so Houdini will recognize it through the color of those prefabs. Yeah, I think that will allow it to make more complex shapes in different ways, how they interact also with each other, in a more intuitive way than messing around with splines, right? And you can look forward to those kind of features. The ultimate goal at the end is, you know, to have a finished HDA which is usable and optimized for game development, right? You throw this into the engine and it's not a pain in the ass to use, but it should be more or less fun to use, ideally, right? And then of course we'll have optimizations, right? You can see in the intro, you can saw it's all, like when I change the parameters, it's all quite jagged and stuff. So yeah, maybe we'll have certain toggles where it says, oh yeah, this, you know, this will add a lot of latency. Build your castle first, and then you can toggle this on, and yeah, so on. So, but overall, I want to have it keep the experience as smooth as possible, you know. So yeah, enough talking about what will be, and let's focus on what is. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm always open for feedback or recommendations. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of this. And let's get it started. We'll create more spline in the shape of our wall. So we'll add one line to create the walkway here, and then we'll just duplicate maybe the other part to have a battlement on the inside as well. Two castles have battlements on the inside. No, okay, it's only on the outside. So instead we'll keep it simple. So battlement will only do on the outside, as you can see here. Then have the walkway behind it. Cool. Okay, maybe we'll do the copy and add method. Oh, so annoying. Okay, so here's our point. This will be we can use this as our wall width parameter as well. So now we just need to connect it, which we can do with the add. I'm always terrible with that add, every time I'm confused. Well, that worked. Easy. Cool. Cool. And there we should have our wall width. So now we can use this parameter. For the wall. Man, I'm stuck on such a simple thing. I'm really rusty with this kind of stuff. Okay. Okay, So we'll just give the whole other wall a group so we can delete it afterwards. How do I remove this? Oh, there. So again, copy parameter, paste right reference. Now we can move that one down, then we'll do a little merge. Not a remesh. A merge. Little mergeroo. Then we can blast. A duplicate front wall. Oh, another point number changes here. I don't like that. I do not like that because now our ad will probably have issues. Yep. Cool. That did it. Kinda hacky, but it works. Jesus. Thought it was a spider or something. Terrified of spiders. Alright, just put this over here, put this over there. Ooh, this tangly mess makes me anxious. Let's move this up a little bit. Don't even need the sword. Cool. And now we can also adjust our wall thickness. Huh. Oh, I gotta set up my shortcuts again. No, let's do it like this for now. Oh no. There we go. And this, we wanna go, this you wanna move to the bottom. Kinda don't wanna do it manually though, obviously. So we can use this height, which is, 7.4 up. Yeah, we just use that. Oh my god, it's so simple. Oh, okay. So we just use this and paste. Relative reference. Remove that. It went up now, right? Yeah, we wanna have that minus. And it should be at 0. Yes, there we go. It's so simple. Oh my god. Come on, Houdini brain, activate. So now we have our wall. Whee. Beautiful. Oh, what the fuck? Oh yeah. There is our luscious wall. Beautiful. Kind of like this. I'll throw it in my reference board. Coolio. Coolio. We've made a wall. Okay, so now we actually want to make our battlement. How are we gonna do that, you might ask? I don't know, I might answer. But we will figure it out together. One thing we could do is boolean it. However, booleans are expensive, but maybe this will be the easiest way to go. Let's go with a boolean. So why the hell not? So maybe we could use. So we're gonna take, you know, our. We're gonna take our input spline and scatter, and use that to scatter some points along it, which we've been doing here already. For example. Oh my god, what did I do here? Preset. Would be useful to write annotations so I could see what I'm actually doing. Oh, it's like normal stuff. Yeah, looks like it. Well, good thing I made a video about it so I can just watch it back and figure out what I did here. Okay. Yeah, how about we just take this. Can I resample while keeping my normals intact? Is that possible? Looks like it. Let's make some space. I'll just copy all of this actually. Not all of that. Delete the attribute here we had mapped before. Cool, so now we have control over our resample here. Yep. We can also blast our corners, which we won't need. We don't want a battlement on the corners. See what else can we reuse? Might as well just grab all of this here. Which we used for the windows. Skin is so dry, damn it. Alright. Boolean. Chuck. 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 So you want to subtract this from that. No. Wait, not that. That. Where's our wall? Subtract. Maybe the other way around. All right, there we go. Now I'm gonna move this up. Oh, there she is. Don't want to go too deep. That's what she said. Now maybe one more. Maybe one more of those. Maybe we want to do some math, because you can see if we have more now. Take it thinner. Which might be fine. But maybe we want to control that a bit more. Where we have stay a bit more consistent. Or like scale proportionally, you know what I mean? So that would mean you don't want this, when you add more cutouts, you want to reduce the size of this as well. So maybe we can use, let's see, length. So I guess this is the, we have the length of the resampling, which is the length between each point, I assume. So what if we, oh, my math skills are also rusty, by the way, so this will be fun. It's always good to freshen up some basic math skills. So what if we just divide this by you know what happens? Let's just throw it out there. Let's just see. Let's just tinker and see where we end up. This is the way. Paste relative reference. We had 1 divided. Cool. So now we have this. So what happens now if we change our length? Yeah, it's better. It's weird. It's doing the opposite now. It's going bigger when we get more and smaller when we have less. Times minus 1, but this is not it. Not it. Bear with me. Maybe we have to multiply it then. Because then it should do the opposite, right? Math? Yes, please. No? Give this a 0.5. Cool. Yeah, multiply. Cool. That is it. So now you can see after we multiplied the width of the cutout by our resample length. So the length between each point with this result. Meaning our cutouts, they scale depending on how many battlements we have, how many cutouts, which is cool. And then we can of course expose this parameter to scale, you know, to have control over how wide we want it. Now let's do the same for our towers, because they also need battlements. Looks way more castle-y already, doesn't it? Battlement wall. So I would say just copy what we just did and reuse it for our towers, because we are resourceful. We are resourceful people. Not wasting any resources. No, 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 no. No, 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 we don't. Just grab this sucker. But instead of using our input spline, we just use the base for our towers, which is this. Yes. Ah, it's already 11. I gotta go to bed soon, because tomorrow work is calling. Okay, let's finish battlements for the towers, and then I go to bed. Can just grab that boy here, feed it in here. Kaboom, kabam, balabam. Sheem, bam, bam. Of course, that doesn't work. No, it works, all Gucci. So we have these. Then here again, we're measuring our corners, grouping our corners, and removing them. I don't know if we want it now, actually. We want to keep our corners? No, let's just remove them for now. No corners allowed. So what just happens? What happens if we just feed our tower into... Also for the towers, it might be more efficient to do it for one tower and then duplicate it. Maybe it will save us some generation time on the Boolean, but that's something for later optimization stuff. Don't feel like doing that now, so we won't. So we just won't. It's that easy. Cool. Of course, we still have to make our Oish. What's happening here? They're too long. Oh no. What are you doing? If we just not do any of that. So we don't need the corners anyway. Maybe it's fine. But now it's kind of offset. Just copy this over here. We reset this. Et voila. Je suis. Not perfect yet, but it will do for now. I'm gonna flip that around, like so. And we have battlements. Could make the tower height a percentage. Yeah, that's always what I wonder with those videos, because I find things and I'm like, should I go down this path and just fix this thing, and then I noticed this is wrong, so let's work a bit on that thing. But I feel like they might end up being a bit too organized for those videos. I feel like normally that's how I work. Like I would just follow my eyes basically, or like when I notice little things, I'm like, might as well work on it now. Of course, when you notice something and you're like, that's a big undertaking, let's do it, but not now, then it's always nice to write it down. Ew, look at that tile breakup. Forgot we added that. I'm getting sidetracked again. So yes, I was talking, if you have an idea, write it down. That was my point. While you work on it, you can always jump on things, or just write it down and do it later. That's what I'm gonna do now. Make an interface section. Interface. Start there. Basically, the idea is that instead of so the idea I was thinking of, it's better to optimize parameters a bit to make them a bit smoother for user experience. And here I'm thinking it would be better to have the tower height linked to the wall height, so you can, make it taller, make it smaller, but make it not absolute, so it's easier to use. Maybe we can add probably name this. All right. let's give the nodes which are linked to a parameter, in this case our tower height, a shape. You know what, fuck the shape. I'm already getting annoyed of giving them a shape. Let's not make it a cloud. So an easy way you can find your parameter nodes, at least the easiest one I found, easiest way I have found so far, is you can open your parameters by, you know, going to your, what's it called, this thing, the HDA, and type properties. And so let's say you're here and you're like, oh, where's the node controlling this one? You can take the name of the node. It should be, I think, this. No, that's the parameter. This here is the name of the node. So I named these luckily. But let's say you want to find this one. Select this. Control F, Control V. And here it is. So we could make that one blue as well. So that's scaling it right now. You just want to add this instead to our wall height. Little tip with Control 1 and Control 2, 3, etc. You can set the markers like where you can quick jump between windows. So if I go here, press Control 2 and I'm somewhere else, I can press 2 and I'll be back here. And I'm gonna go here, press Control 1, and here I can go quickly outside so I can test my HDA. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. Wondering what this thing is here. Okay, I see what that is. So to fix that, so I copy pasted the parameter of the wall height and subtracted a little bit. This will be the thickness of our battlement for the towers. So yeah, now we fixed that. Then we also want to copy the parameter to the same thing for the wall. So here where we transform it, I guess. Man, I gotta get the thing. Let me get the new parameter. parameters. And I just want to have, so I don't have to go back and forth the whole time. Press this when I'm here, and then it will stick to the parameters of the selected node. So that means if I do this, yes, this stays, but what we want is copy the height parameter and paste it here. Paste your reference. You want to say minus this, maybe not, that's a lot. Minus 0.24. And this will be that. Cool, now if all of this is working, I guess you just need to limit that. It's already a multiplier. How are we gonna multiply it, you might ask? Limit it, I mean. We go to our parameters, go to our tower height, which maybe we move up here. And we set the limit range. So let's do from 0.5 to 4, 5. I don't know. Sure, why not? Apply. And with the limiting, it basically so the limiting basically, you know, limits it so the slider is more comfortable to use. And you can still override this value. You know, you're not actually hard limited by it. You can still type more than 5, so 11, and it will jump to that. But yeah, just makes it slightly easier to use. So I guess our height is good. So now we need to adjust the height of the Battlement booleans. So I mean, set it to our height. Parameter, paste relative reference. See where we are. This height again, copy parameter. Our towers. Here it is. Paste relative reference. And as you can see, it's still not at the top, so we need to add our tower height as well. So we just use the same calculation the tower height works with. So it's like first we have our normal height, and then it multiplies this value to achieve the tower height. So that's why we just take this height, as we just did, multiplied by our tower height. Copy parameter, paste relative reference, multiply, and now should stay the height. So if you move this, yes. If you change the tower height, yes. Now you can see it's still cutting into our walkway, which we might or might not want. In this case, we don't want that. So we will adjust this. To adjust that, we go here, back to our thing. So now we have the height set through the parameters, so we don't really need to touch that anymore. So now we just need to adjust the shape, which is booleaning. Let's see, we can turn this on, then you can see our shape. Or not, why not? Hello, shape, please. Oh, it's down there. Okay, so we preview this one. And CCC. Yes. Sample free. What's that doing? So that gives us this something we did, I guess, this episode, which was for me months ago. So I'm a bit slow. I have to remember what we did the last episode. So let's expose this, I'd say. So we want to add this here. So we just drag the parameter into the folder. Call it Battlement. Apply. Now we have our Battlement setting down here. Now we have kind of the amount, but we also want to change the width of it. So go to our box. And this here is our width, as you can see. I think what happens if we have it to 1. All right, then the cube is scaled like this. You can see. By the way, I just figured that out, like in this moment. It's funny. You know how you can, if you press middle mouse button, you can adjust the value. Like this. You can also do that by just selecting this value and then pressing middle mouse button on that, and that just adjusts this selected value, which is great. How are we gonna do that? How are we gonna do that? So I want to set the width of our battlement pieces, battlement blocks, whatever it's called. And we want to do that with a float parameter. So let's drag that boy in here. Then we calculate the battlement width and yes. Apply. Cool. Now we have it here. Battlement width, and we can just copy parameter, paste, range of reference, and multiply it. Bam! This is how we do it. Now it's on 0. Oh. And here it is. So now we have the amount, and we can control our width. Coolio. Maybe it's, making the HTA, maybe we don't even want to expose this at the end, but automate it somehow. But for now, I'm just gonna expose it. So we have it. And if we want to simplify our UI later, we might nuke it. We'll see. Anyway, one thing we want to do is set some limits to make the slider a bit more usable. As you can see, it hits its limits now quite fast. So let's go into our HDA. Battlement with go from 0.21. Kabam, kaboom, ba-ding, ba-ding. No. Whoop, 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 whoop. Cool. And we can always overshoot, right? Later on, you can just type less than the minimum. That works. So, but it just makes the slider more usable. Awesome. Yeah, cool. I mean, those are our battlements. We have them now. And they work. So I know this series has been progressing very slowly, but that's how it is. You know, I'm enjoying doing these videos, and I'm gonna keep working on this castle until it looks juicy and shiny and sparkly and invincible. Yes, this is the goal. And if you like this series so far and you learned a thing or two, then give it a thumbs up, subscribe, always helps. Yeah, stay tight, bye.